Grand Forks, North Dakota, food critic Marilyn Haggerty, who went viral in 2012 after penning a glowing review of her local Olive Garden, has nothing but kind things to say about Anthony Bourdain, who was one of the first people to publicly support her. I went viral because there were hundreds and hundreds of comments after the column I wrote about the Olive Garden coming to Grand Forks. I was overwhelmed with the attention I was getting, Haggerty, who is now in her 90s, tells People. After being sent to New York, where the food columnist appeared on Today and Anderson Cooper 360, she had a meeting with Bourdain, who had previously defended her against online trolls, praising her triumph over the snarkologists, myself included. He later wrote that Marilyn Haggerty's years of reviews represented a history of dining that too few of us from the coasts have seen. I think he wanted to know how kooky I was, Haggerty explains. Recalling their meeting, the food writer says they met for coffee at a hotel, and after spending an hour or two together, he decided he wanted to publish a book of my reviews. I thought he was a very handsome man. He was very nicely dressed and just very easy to sit with, she shares with People. He was a very pleasant person to be with. He said at first he thought it was just weird that I would write about the Olive Garden coming to Grand Forks, but then he said the more he thought about it he believed I was telling the story of how people eat in this area of the country, in the Midwest, in the small towns, and what foods are important or interesting to them, she explained, adding that Bourdain knew that I had been writing this column for 10 to 20 years. We talked about everything, she continues, describing their conversation about Bourdain's daughter Ariane, now 11, who had just celebrated her 5th birthday. He had a party for her and she didn't have a good time, and that was because he had invited adults and she didn't enjoy that. So he planned another party for the next Saturday and he was going to invite kids, she remarks. Bourdain ended up publishing a book of columns by Haggerty under his publishing imprint Echo in 2013. He also wrote the foreword for the book, which is called Grand Forks, A History of American Dining in 100 Reviews. It was something very great that happened to me because I had the chance to meet Anthony Bourdain, Haggerty explains. In the book's introduction, Bourdain praised Haggerty for her flinty, dry, very sharp sense of humor, adding that she misses nothing and he would not want to play poker with her for money. This is a straightforward account of what people have been eating, still are eating in much of America. As related by a kind, good-hearted reporter looking to pass along as much useful information as she can while hurting no one, he continued, adding, "This book kills snark dead."